everyone, it's Liz Holloway here, and welcome to my YouTube tutorial. I first want to apologize. I've got a bit of a cold, and so it might be hard of hearing, but bear with me as I go along. And I'm going to show you how to create this roller coaster. And then when you open it up, you have this roller coaster. Now, when you see it black on black, you can't really see much of it. So I did another card where I'm using the Marina Mist Blue, and you can see that it's popping out 3D, and it's about a quarter of an inch. So what I want to show you is how this is made. What you're going to do is start off with a 5 1/4 by 8 1/4 cardstock, and my recommendation is that you're going to mark it at 4 1/8. Turn it around and mark it 4 1/8. Now, because it's only a quarter, what you want to do is take that quarter and move it up. Okay, so this is where you're going to make sure that your line is going to sit on that 1/4 inch. So I made an indentation a 1/4 inch above the fold line. And so then what you're going to do is take your die. This is the Let's the Good Time Rolls die, and it comes with matching cardstock. And so what I'm doing now is I'm taking this little indicators here and lining it right up to the line, my pre-scored line. And you need a precision plate, and the precision plate will help cut all the small intricacies. So here, and you can't see the lines, so I'm gonna do this quick. Okay, so that's lined up so that the indicator here and the indicator here is right on the line. And then take your acrylic plate and then run it through your Big Shot. Now you're gonna need to run it through several times to make sure that all the little rail part is cut. And then when you remove it, you're gonna remove all the small pieces right here. Okay, and then when you're doing this, you're going to take your bone folder and run it through the perforated lines, and then do the same thing for the bottom, and then the bottom rail as well. Okay, and then here I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to score from the flag to the bottom of the other flag. And then this way, when you're taking your bone folder, you're going to fold up. And then here, for your rail, I'm going to start off at the bottom, and then you're going to bend, mountain fold the bottom rail, and then taking your fingernails and training it so that it's valley forward, folding right up the top. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and then the same thing for the other one, mountain fold, and then valley fold. So I'm going to work upside down because it's easier. And then if you want to take your bone folder, you can crease it. Okay, so once those are folded, you're going to pop those out, and then what you're going to do is you're going to bend your card, lining it up, making sure that all these are down, and lining it up, and then crease your card. Okay, so these lines should actually line up to your cardstock, and your cardstock is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and he's going to score it right in half at 4 1/4. But before I even do that, I'm going to score this here. Before I even put this insert in, I'm going to show you how to create this particular part. So you're going to take your Whisper White and your roller coaster. Now this roller coaster measures 3 3/4, so it's a little short, and I want to extend it. So I want to show you how that is made. I'm going to take my white craft pad and open up this card. So this card I'm making it up and I'm just checking it. And so what you want is that this particular line, move it off the cardstock, and then this border line, move it below the cardstock. So I'm going to just stamp like so, lift it up, okay, and then you see that there is a bit of a line there, so all I'm going to do is ink up the half, and then this line here is going to line up to this second line here, and then lining up my top roller coaster. And there you go. Now I'm not going to worry about that part because it's going to be covered with the bear. So then taking your white embossing powder, I'm going to remove this because I got white ink in there. And then taking your white embossing powder and then sprinkle white embossing powder on. And then heat set it with your heat tool. Your heat tool should be hot before applying it onto your card. So now you see that this is kind of dull, and then when you heat it up, it's going to be shiny. And so now I'm going to pour this white powder back into the canister. And then I'm going to use remnants of Whisper White. And I am going to stamp on here my panda using the Versamark. I'm going to use my embossing buddy first. Okay? So because I don't want little specks of powder on here. So here I'm going to ink this up. And then I'm going to place this little guy so that his bum is right on the two lines. Okay, and then taking my black embossing powder, onto the cardstock, and I think because I did something earlier, but that it's okay, I'm just going to use my brush and brush it off. And then I'm going to stamp my panda bear again onto Whisper White. And then taking him, and then I'm going to emboss him in black as well. Taking my heat tool one more time. So once that card is done, now I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the remnants, and I'm going to cut out the balloon. Then I'm going to take my Real Red blends, Stampability blends, and color red. taking the darker red and then just applying the shade, and then coming back with my regular light red. And it gives you that shade, so I'm blending it right back into the blue. Okay, and then the next thing is I'm going to take my white chalk and I'm going to add a little shine right on the edge. And so that is it for that particular balloon. And then I'm going to cut out the panda, and only the panda. Okay, so then what I'm going to do now is taking my black marker or a black Sharpie marker and then just applying the black right on the edge, because this is going to be popped out, so I don't want the white showing. And not only that, but it will hide all the white that if you didn't cut it right away or exactly the same. And the same thing with the balloon. Okay. And taking my dimensionals, one right on the top, one right on the bottom, and then one on the balloon. And then just taking this and peeling it off, and then adding it to the main cardstock. And then that way it will cover his bottom. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to take my sentiment, and then I'm going to take my craft white pad again. And then this time I'm stamping it so that the line is right in between the words, the two words that are joining, and then making sure that the sentiment is straight. And then taking my white embossing powder and then heat set this again. So then what I'm going to do now is taking my cloud, and I'm going to add clouds right onto the card. You can overlap them. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to give it a quick dry because it is pigment ink, so I'm going to dry up the white powder, Okay, and then for your roller coaster, all you're going to do is take your insert and then adding it so that your fold line matches the fold line. Okay, just like that. Why is it not? Fold line matches the fold line. And you only want glue all the way around and not inside, just around the edges. Okay, and then once that is done, go ahead and line up your center fold lines. And then go ahead and glue down your bottom piece. Now to make the the roller coaster so that it looks like it's a wooden roller coaster, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and cut another roller coaster piece, and this is in craft. In craft paper. Taking my die and then just lining up the edges. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the flags because the flags is not going to be involved. And then so crank that through. And so how this one works is that you're going to cut or trim off this area here so that it's just straightforward, and then taking your paper snips and then just snipping away the rails. And then remove all the excess. So because I wanted to make it a wooden roller coaster, I'm actually going to stamp it in hardwood. And then in the meantime, I'm going to just cut that off. And then so here, I'm going to take my hardwood and soft suede. Just inking the top part. And then taking this and then laying it right on here. And then this piece right there. So then what you need to do is take a scrap piece of paper and then just kind of smudge it right onto the craft card. Making sure that it's all, there's my piece. And then taking my roller coaster. Now, before you put your roller coaster on, make sure that it fits, okay? Which is a little bit short, but that is okay because we're going to be covering it up with grass. So I'm going to add my glue. And add this piece on, aligning it right where the roller coaster is. Okay, so here is the finished cards. Okay, so I did it all in the different color cardstock. So basically what I did was I stamped it in yellow, real red, wasabi green, and tempting turquoise. And then there is a matching die that goes with this card, so you don't have to cut them all by hand. Okay, so if you have any questions, please email me at liz.holloway@gmail.com or text at 604-307-3273. Now, if you need any supplies, you can also email me or text, and I will be happy to get the order in for you. Okay, so anyways, thanks for joining in, and I hope you have fun with this particular Let the Good Times Roll. Okay, bye now.